anniversary games or anniversary releases, things released to take advantage of, hey, this franchise has been around for X amount of years, so here's something big we're planning. Although the concept can also be a double-edged sword, because that means for the big anniversary, some fans expect something big to happen or anything to happen, so if nothing happens, or some people hate just an anniversary tweet, people get upset about it. Another problem when it comes to anniversary games is that some games will get released to meet with a franchise anniversary rather than taking its time and coming out after its anniversary year. So there's also that problem where they want to meet a certain deadline, but the project may not be finished. So there's several examples of different kinds of anniversary games and how they generally function or may have screwed something up. Let's just get these two more infamous cases right off the bat, which are the games Tales of Xillia for the PS3 and Tales of Zestiria also for the PS3, being the 15th and 20th anniversary titles for the Tales of franchise. Now, while Xillia more so definitely has way more fans than Zestiria, especially with the new remaster that come out later this year, it's also known that Xillia came out in an unfinished state, where things were rushed out the door, and you can just tell that things are not fully fleshed out. Whether it be the combat having a good base that Xillia 2 then expanded upon, but it also feels like Xillia 2 added stuff that Xillia 1 should have had to begin with, rather than adding in some new ideas. There's also the issue that Xillia 1, typically late in the game, will introduce many new concept and lore ideas into it, but then do almost nothing with it because there's not much left in the game. You also have the game's dual protagonist setup, which, while the idea is being a dual protagonist setup to have two unique playthroughs, in reality, it's more so focused leaning towards Jude, because Jude's story mode has more to it, has more development in it, and there are several instances in Mila's campaign where she can't fight, so you play as Jude in those segments. There are some scenarios in Mila's campaign that they will show you that is from Jude's perspective. It's one of those things where it's like, did they really think of this idea? The weird part is, when you start the game, Mila herself feels more like the protagonist, but as it goes on, Jude feels like he rises more to protagonist role than Mila actually does, with her exclusive segment in the game being the most 2 hours of nothing. And honestly, it just leaves it kind of disappointing in comparison. But like I said, a lot of people do like Xillia. Some people put it as the best Tales of game. I don't understand these people, but that's good for them. Like I said, it is getting remastered later this year, but it's a case of an anniversary title being rushed out to be the anniversary and not living up to the full potential the game had. Zestiria is also another case where I want to say things feel rushed or left out. It's much just a fact of things just feel wrong for a Tales of game. The fact of the combat on console for Zestiria by default is 30 FPS. You can mod it on PC to be 60 FPS, where Tales of games usually have 30 FPS in your overworld and 60 FPS in combat, but Zestiria, 30 FPS everywhere. And Zestiria's problem is more the fact of it just had ideas that just weren't really that good of an idea, really. And its narrative, I'm not sure with the case of being rushed. I think I did say that was stuff that was removed from Zestiria as well. But more the fact that the story just, okay, like I said, it's felt terrible. The characters are alright, the party members are fine. The story itself felt terrible, and the base they put on it was something Tales of Zestiria had to do a Herculean task of trying to make better because, oh, that base was rocky. But it's the fact that Zestiria was a game that, once again, was meant to be an anniversary, and generally gets way more hate, especially when compared to Xillia, where people still enjoy Xillia. I'm in the minority of liking Zestiria because the combat is really fun, but it just feels like things just are wrong with it and was rushed out to meet anniversary title, on top of the whole entire different controversy that happened, but it's in the topic of Zestiria controversy at all. Probably one of the most infamous cases of a rushed out game, Sonic the Hedgehog on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, or the fad name Sonic 2006, which was made to celebrate the 50th anniversary, but once again was rushed out to meet the anniversary deadline, so things they had for just weren't fleshed out, concepts they had just didn't get done or even anywhere near the definition of working at all. And the game was designed to try and change the idea what people's perception of Sonic the Hedgehog was. It did, in a bad way. Yes, you have fan projects like Project 06 everything, but it's a fan project, and they have to change a lot in order to get it to work. As people try to argue that, oh, Project 06 shows that the levels in Sonic 06 were a good idea, it's need a better execution. No, those things have to change levels, change stuff, no, just didn't have time to flesh ideas. They didn't have time to fully localize things. The most infamous thing being an incorrect freaking speech line put in the game, and then the actor does the correct line afterwards and stuff like that. Or improper localization where some things are typed out incorrectly, like Super Sonic obtain the all moves, stuff like that. So it's the almost infamous case of something being rushed out for an anniversary. Now we get into the positive but confusing choices, like the 35th anniversary for the Mario franchise, where they remastered, well, one of the support, but remastered Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy for Nintendo Switch, made them play better for those consoles and everything, and even updated Mario Sunshine to be better and better when fans had issue with the remastering, and that was a great idea for a re-release, celebrate anniversary, fantastic, beautiful. It was a limited time release for some stupid reason. Granted, you can still find copies out there in the wild, or even digital codes from storefronts as well, but it's just one of those things where it's like, this is a cool idea, you put out the effort, that's great Nintendo, what do you mean limited time release? And I can't remember if it's an anniversary title or not, but I know they did the same thing for the first Fire Emblem, when they released it on Switch, but limited time release. Again, stop doing that. Stop it. So you have a good idea for anniversary, but for some reason decide, we'll just make a limited time release. No, stop doing that. Now for the two unique flavors of an anniversary game. Starting first, Fire Emblem Engage. Fire Emblem Engage, an anniversary title that brings in characters from the franchise while also adding its own new spin with the Emblem Ring system and everything. So it tries something new, but also incorporates stuff from the past and the characters from the past. Granted, Fire Emblem's a weird case because a lot of entries were never localized, but hey, it's the thought that counts, which is a super cool way at an anniversary game, which is what many people think becomes an anniversary title, the idea of bringing characters back for something. And like I said, that's one flavor, but there's also another. Technically this is cheating because it's technically not officially a little anniversary game, but screw you, it pretty much is. Persona 5. Persona 5 first came out, it had a bumper beginning the game, typically highlighting, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Persona franchise, and even had a 20th anniversary edition in Japan. So, screw you, it's an anniversary game, Atlus, I don't care. Where this one, instead of bringing back characters from the past, it brought back mechanics or ideas from the past. Hey, like the guns from the 5? Persona 1 also had that. Hey, like Ko and Aha, which are damage dealing freaking light and dark magic respectively? Persona 1 also did that. You like the negotiations, although they're way simplified here? Persona 1 and 2 also did that. Like a lot of stuff they brought back from the franchise. Hey, you like having actual dungeons instead of just a randomized dungeon? Persona 1 and 2 duology also had those dungeons. So it's just stuff like that where you see so many ideas brought back from the past, or many people note parallels with the characters to parallels from characters from previous entries, whether it be stuff like the Masked Circle or just stuff like main characters like Tatsuya from Persona 2. So there's just ideas that were brought back into this game where even if it's not officially stated as an anniversary title, it has all the hallmarks of being an anniversary title. You know, to the fact that the character of Yusuke was originally supposed to be a student from Saint Hermelin from Persona 1. The idea was scrapped because we never really add anything about fan service, but it shows how many ideas we're going to bring back from a different Persona game as well. So it's one of those things where it's not officially one, but it has all the hallmarks of being one. And I hated the fact that Royal removed the anniversary bumper from it. Yeah, Royal came out after anniversary year, but screw you, the anniversary game, put it there. Don't just remove it. Or the Final Fantasy, also being a spin-off title for a Final Fantasy franchise, typically designed to be for the 30th anniversary, And it shows not only in bringing back the active time battle or ATB gameplay that Final Fantasy used to be known for, but also how they managed to fit in so many Final Fantasy characters, whether it be for the narrative, whether it be for Easter eggs, or whether it be for stuff as using them for summons, with how the game functions, or also in Maximal Edition as playable characters or for minigames. They wanted to shove as much fantasy as possible, while also having their own narrative for the game that it goes for and still has a cliffhanger ending. Like, if this game ever got a sequel, the thing I would want to see is for them to use the villains, because they didn't really use the staple Final Fantasy villains when it came to this game's narrative, so that would be a big opportunity. Yes, Garland was brought in as part of Maximum DLC, but he was a super boss that didn't really have any sort of narrative purpose, so it would be more interesting for that. Okay, I gotta say, because I keep saying no villains, Gilgamesh is there, although Gilgamesh is treated more as just a fully goofy guy as opposed to as an actual villainous character or a serious threat taken by the characters. So, that said, a sequel which should add villains, but for this game, they brought back the ATB system, they brought back all these characters with a Lilican form and the summons you can do with them, with the champion medals. Although, weirdly enough, early on in the game, Laud and Rain have to give the champions back their abilities in order to pretty much fully function as champions, but they quickly dropped that idea entirely, so kind of a weird bit. One of those some story shift idea that changed, but whatever. It just shows, once again, big anniversary title that I wish more people played, because it's a game that celebrates Final Fantasy, celebrates what you love about Final Fantasy, and it has ATB. Many people nowadays complain about Final Fantasy should be turn-based. Here's an ATB game you can play and enjoy. Now time for the big double-edged sword aspect, where this anniversary idea can backfire. With, for me, the most infamous case being for the Ape Escape franchise, where they had an entire Twitter account made and dedicated for the 20th anniversary of Ape Escape, and people were excited everything for possibly a new entry, a new thing, new localization. There's several games that didn't get localized, so could be big and new, and they had a Twitter account, that'd be awesome. Only for them to do nothing. It was an entire Twitter account that existed for a year that announced nothing. It just did nothing and then left. And it's like, get people excited, and that did literally nothing. It doesn't say, it's just, there was nothing. Nada. What the hell? Another case is when something gets an anniversary special, but no new game is announced, such as the HEDGEHOG series, which did get a big 20th anniversary stuff with exhibitions, new merch, and everything, but what we didn't get was a new title. There was no new game, or at least a re-release, of the first four HEDGEHOG games, considering they've always been on the PS2. Granted, some say they lost the source codes for those games, may not be able to actually port them, but it's like a big opportunity and nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened in terms of gameplay-wise. Like I said, you wanted merch, you got merch. Granted, you get to import it if you were outside Japan, and also exhibitions only within Japan, but they did do stuff to celebrate the HEDGEHOG franchise. It just wasn't a new game, and since it's a video game franchise first and foremost, granted HEDGEHOG is a multimedia franchise from the get-go, but the main thing was the video games, and they didn't do anything new with it, leading many people to be disappointed and feel like nothing much was done. I already mentioned the positive, that was Persona 5 as the 20th anniversary title. Now time for disappointment of Persona 25th anniversary, where for 25th anniversary, they had big things planned, and although they didn't state it, it is implied that the pandemic basically threw a whole entire wrench into their plans and caused many things to be delayed and not go to plan. But they announced a big thing with big announcements celebrating the entire franchise, bringing over all the protagonists from the main games and everything for merch, all sorts of stuff, and all the stuff they did for anniversary. While it was good, like, hey, here's a freaking re-release of Ultimax. Granted, they released Ultimax on console for Persona 4. Hey, here's later, Persona 4 Golden on console. Persona 3 Portable on console. Persona 5 everywhere as well. Ooh, look at all this stuff. Persona 3 Reload, which was probably their big thing, along with Persona 5 Tactica. But by the time it got revealed and came out, it was well after the anniversary, so it was probably a case where they had that plan and wanted to do it, but then the pandemic happened and ruined their plans. So, like I said, you can't fully blame Atlus in this one for things not planning out as they wanted to go. What you can do is blame them for the fact that they excluded the first 3 games again. For the one, 2 Minutes to Sin, 2 Eternal Punishment, despite being represented in the anniversary, didn't get a re-release of their games. On top of the fact that they're seriously trying to retcon Persona 2 Innocent Sin's coloring from red to orange because they want red to be Persona 5, which is dumb. They can both be red. It's okay. Persona 5 doesn't need to be red by itself. But it's one of those things where, if you were a fan of the first 3 games, sure you got new merch and some new cool stuff, but you also got the disappointment of, once again, no re-release or anything for those titles. So while the anniversary was, I can't say disaster because it still worked out, still got the job done. It just had things got delayed at the anniversary, which honestly, like I said, for the other things I mentioned, not to rush things out for anniversary, having stuff delayed so they can be functional because at the anniversary is fine. In this year of 2025, we are in the 20th anniversary for Final Fantasy IX, and it's been getting a lot more merch, including even a canonical prequel storybook as well. So Square Enix is doing a lot for it. A lot more than they did for 5, 6, and 8, which was nothing. They got nothing at anniversaries. Final Fantasy IX, y'all act as if Square Enix doesn't care, and y'all still get stuff like this. Don't even at me. But many are saying that the anniversary will be underwhelming if the rumored remake doesn't happen. It's like they're getting so much stuff, but I get it. You want something new for your favorite game because we're gonna talk about video games here. So the main thing we want to get is a new game or something. So I can't be mad at one entire thing. But let's not act as if Final Fantasy IX got nothing. Final Fantasy V got nothing. Even 6, and 6 is a popular entry, got nothing. 8 got nothing. Y'all at least have this whole 20th anniversary to go with it. I know, we can't all be the freaking favorite child of Final Fantasy VII, but Final Fantasy IX fans, y'all got stuff, so that's some cool stuff. You got freaking plushies, man. I wish I could get Final Fantasy V plushies. That's my favorite plushie. And time for the special category that I'll dub the worse than nothing, which is the Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour. Now, how is it worse than literally nothing anniversary title? Simple. Would you want anniversary game to be a re-release of a game that people love, only for it to have less content and to be inferior than the previous release? That is this game. This game actively removes content from the original release of Duke Nukem 3D. Specifically, the expansions are just gone. They're just gone for some reason. So there's just stuff like that just makes it an inferior release. But they also removed the original release when they ported this and made this. So leaving you as essentially your only option you can buy because of that, which is a baffling decision to just do that, to remove content from a beloved title and then just sell the re-release more expensive than the original game was as it was released. So you're paying more for less, and that's also worse. This is worse than if they just did nothing because people liked the previous release of Duke Nukem 3D. So I just want to go over a double-edged nature when it comes to anniversary games, because people will expect a big anniversary game to coincide with anniversary. Also, times like developers may not have anything planned for it, or they may have stuff planned, just not a new game for whatever reason. But hey, we specifically don't be a Duke Nukem 3D World Tour that flat out removes content and is more expensive. That's not an anniversary release. That's an anniversary of being slapped in the face. That's what I gotta say about the topic. Alrighty then, go out there, play games, and hope for your franchise you love gets a really cool anniversary re-release or anniversary game. That'd be super cool. What kind of thing you want in an anniversary game? Like the one that's gameplay ideas being combined, or old game that has to be re-released finally coming back, or a game that brings all your favorite characters together. There's many different flavors anniversary game. Alright then, good day.